Good afternoon, everybody. It's January 9, 2024. It's still raining here in eastern Kentucky. It's been raining all day. It's been raining since last night. Raining very heavily, but it's 46 degrees, so it's warm. And, I am grateful that it's not snow, because when it snows here and the wind and the rain and the yucky, it's pretty bad, guys. But the chickens are not happy because they don't like being wet. And they look wet, too. They look so soggy. But anyway, I wanted to give an update to a question that was posted on Quora. This was a while back, and I did a video on it. I'll have to find it and see if I can post it in the description section. Do GangStalkers poison? So I responded to it on Quora, and then people subsequently respond to my post. And this person left a comment, and I wanted to read it to you guys. But please hit the thumbs up. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, exposing one criminal at a time here in eastern Kentucky. Okay, so this is from Michael. Thank you, Michael. I won't mention his last name, but it is public on Quora. But do GangStalkers poison? Oh, and wait a minute. This beautiful, beautiful image here is a hand-painted oil painting, mini. It's called an ACEO mini art by Linda Russell. Here, let's see. It's called Mother Earth. We have to protect Mother Earth, guys. Because we're destroying it. This is a little certificate of authenticity. Mother Earth, Linda's Art Angels. So, let's see here. And so pretty. So colorful. It's a nice little photo for two GangStalkers poison, right? Okay, so now Michael says, I do commercial refrigeration. I use black light flashlights to sometimes find leaks on hard-to-find systems. I ordered a couple of rechargeable UV, ultraviolet flashlights on Amazon. After they came in, me and my two kids were playing with them in the house one night. We had the lights off. Then shit got strange. Every room in the house, mostly upstairs, had this yellow substance that appeared to ooze down the walls. Not just a little either. You couldn't see it without the UV. You couldn't feel it, and it didn't smear. Me and the kids inspected the complete house, and it was everywhere. I painted the one side right after I bought it. This was 5 years later. I chalked it up to the unexplainable. It never dawned on me until this very moment after reading this post that I contracted some kind of strange parasites that almost killed me. Thank God I discovered, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube, because I'm just going to say this is not medical advice. It's that drug called ivermectin. I think it's an anti-parasitical drug. I'm not sure. You'll have to do your own research on what it is used to treat. But he contracted some strange parasites that almost killed him. And he said, thank God that he discovered the ivermectin and was able to treat and cure himself. Oh, they don't like that. No. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah, that's why. That's why they don't want to promote this stuff, because they don't want you curing yourself. He says, I used to think my house was possessed or something. If you use Bluetooth speaker on any kind of late at night, strange and scary voices would come through the speaker. Okay, let me see if I can. He's probably speaking into his phone, and it sounds a little weird. If you use a Bluetooth speaker of any kind late at night, strange and scary voices would come through the speaker. A friend of mine from Texas, he says, I live in Georgia. Well, she came out to visit me one time a few years back. And during the visit, I told her about all the things I was experiencing. And that was the first time I ever heard the term gang stalking. I looked it up, and that was exactly what I was going through. This is why, folks, it is so important to share information. I know it sounds crazy. I had the same thing happen to me at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, in a home I lived in for 30 years as the original owner. And, I mean, I think I mentioned to you that I had all of my bathrooms redone. Literally, I had walls taken out. I had all the walls taken out, new walls, new sheetrock, tile, Italian tile, beautiful tile. And then this yellow, I just call it yellow drippy stuff, was all over the walls. It was mostly, and just like him, it was mostly upstairs, and it was mostly in areas with a high humidity. And obviously, bathrooms have high humidity. You've got a shower on, you're running water. So there is something that they are spraying in our homes that interact with moisture, that infect the entire environment. I'm going to tell you, in New Jersey, it drove me nuts. And especially when my house was on the market, I was so scared that people would think that like I wasn't clean or whatever. And then I had some idiots, even on YouTube, idiots say, "Oh, your cats must have done it." Like even on Quora. It's like, "Oh yeah, my cats have great aim on the ceilings of the bathroom." You're kidding me. On the corners of the ceilings of the bathroom? I don't even think most men can aim that high. Right, guys? Can you aim to the ceilings of your bathroom? Come on. No, it wasn't my cats. It was this yellow drippy stuff. And actually, before I started this, I should have gone into my folder to find the photos because you can only see it under black light. Now, under the black light, another thing that you can find is cat urine. So like a lot of realtors, and this was what was so alarming to me. I know it wasn't my cat's urine because it didn't have an odor. And just like he said, it didn't smear. The only way I got it off, and it took hours and hours and hours, and it would come back, was with bleach. I purchased a Clorox bleach wipes. I made it easy for myself. Clorox bleach wipes. And what do you call those magic erasers? A magic eraser and Clorox bleach wipes. A hard, crunchy sponge did not work. Like an abrasive, that did not work. It was only the magic eraser and bleach to get that stuff off. And it was a nightmare. And you would find it, like I would find it on the bleach towel. The bleach towels would turn yellow from it. And of course, I would wear rubber gloves. I didn't want that stuff on me. I'd immediately get rid of it. Don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is today. But there was a woman who was on the calls years ago. And she said it's actually flammable. It's highly flammable. She mentioned what it was. I actually don't remember right now what she said it was. Oh, phosphorus. It's phosphorus. And she stated that the phosphorus, because it glows in the dark, you can see it under black light, it was to indicate the surveillors, the people that are watching us 24/7, to see where we are in the rooms, to see the corners of the rooms. And I will attest to what he said, is you will find it everywhere. Like in this house. Now, let me just remind you that when I purchased this house, it was brand new. It was delivered to me. It was built by Amish. It's just a little cabin, 750 square feet, something like that, 780, 750. I forget with the loft and whatever what it is, but it's small. And I'm the only one that lives here. I don't even have any pets living in my house. They have their own building. So I went around my house with a black light, and I would find that yellow stuff. They're used as markers. They were on my light switches. They were on the turn knobs of my stove. They were, periodically, placed in various places around doors. So I believe that what she was saying may hold some credibility, and that is a way for these creatures, these peeping Toms and peeping Janes, the bun babes, to know where we are in our houses. I can't validate that at all, but it sounds plausible. It does happen here. I do have it in my bathroom. I have it on the walls, my bathroom. I have found it on the toilet seat. Again, on knobs, on switches. It's disgusting. This is the way they poison the inside of your house. This should be so alarming to everybody that somebody could come into your house when you're gone and poison your entire residence. On one of my videos, I guess around a month and a half ago, I was cleaning up and I had my black light on, and I saw all this disgusting smart dust all over my oil lamps, all over my clothes. I picked up all my clothes and washed them, and then put them in the dryer. And I pulled them out, and they still had this stuff all over them. Multicolors, red, shimmering, glittery. You can't see it with the naked eye. You can only see it under a UV black light. So I will validate what this guy is saying. And then there was another woman who responded. And she said, under, the question, do GangStalkers poison? She said, they poisoned my dog 2 days in a row. And I caught on, and it stopped. Normal dog poop is not green with neon blue and neon green chunks in it. She was so lethargic, too. Poor baby. By the grace of God, she's still alive. Jesus is the only way I got out of the gang stalking. I had to hire a private investigator to do 3-day surveillance on him, and I'm still debating taking legal repercussions against him, but I'm fearful of the retaliation because stalking is a felony. Just letting the Lord deal with him and his people that gang stalked me, vengeance is God's, and so is justice. So I pray God will have mercy on them. Now, these are not my words. This is a woman named Mapia, M-A-P-I-A, and she responded to the question, do GangStalkers poison? So, I'm going to look forward to your questions and comments, guys. Have you seen any yellow drippy stuff? Have any of you guys invested in a black light, a UV light, and searched around your residence? I have to tell you, folks, I can't stand doing it. It makes my skin crawl. It's everywhere. And there's almost nothing you can do about it unless it's on a hard surface. And then that hard surface becomes your project for hours. You go around your house with bleach and, one of those magic erasers. And it's just so time-consuming and tedious and it's just such an invasion. And if they're doing this to the inside of your house, what are they doing on the outside? I've shown you what they've done to my grass. It's not just the aesthetics. It's that they're poisoning my property. They're literally poisoning it. Deliberately. I call it like black goo. I don't know what it is, but what it does is, it's a fungus. And it appears to either multiply or they're just dropping it more frequently. And wherever it is, it turns very slippery. It's slippery whether the property is dry or when the property is wet. It's like little bubbles. They were doing it to me the last few years I lived in New Jersey. And they started doing it here in Kentucky. After I lived here about a year, they started doing it. It was just a little bit at a time. So I would go around with my rubber gloves and pick it up and just dispose of it. But then there was an all-out assault this fall. Totally all-out assault on all the grass. And you could see from photos from the summer, it was absolutely beautiful. I spent a lot of money. I was actually speaking to my daughter about it on the phone a couple of days ago. Because she wants me to get out of here too. She said she wants me to have a better life. She says there's nothing to do here. There's no one to hang out with. There's nobody to speak to here. I can't even go out and get a cup of coffee. I mean, at least in New Jersey, even though I was being harassed and stalked, I could go anywhere and get a cup of coffee or a slice of pizza or Chinese food, you know? Just go out to eat once in a while. There's nothing around here. Zero. Nothing. And to go out around here is just this big chore. I have so many doors to lock and open and close. And, you know, in New Jersey, yeah, it was a pain in the neck too. But you have one residence and one entry. You know, here there's just so many. It's too cumbersome. And plus, the maintenance of all this grass is quite costly. I think I mentioned in another video that not this past summer, but the summer before, I spent more than $6,000 in maintaining grass. Now, most people would say, well, you know, do a garden. Well, I did. I put up 3 greenhouses. 3 brand new greenhouses. One huge, you know, tunnel. And then 2 side-by-sides that were really cute that you can walk into also. They were all destroyed by these criminals. They sliced it with a knife, crushed these supports. I have no greenhouses now. Then when I tilled the soil to do a garden bed, they came and planted grass seed in the bed. They burned all of my raspberry, blackberry, what else did I get? Blackberry, raspberry, and black raspberry shrubs. I had them for a whole year before, so this year they were going to be really prolific. They cut off 44 branches. They did a little at a time. It's called slow kill for a reason. This is the 3 Mason expertise. The 3 Masons love to do this shit. It's called the white glove treatment. Yeah, because they've got some buddy somewhere in New Jersey who got their little knickers in a knot. Or maybe it was those stupid cat rescue people, right? They were stealing my cats and placing them on Adopt-A-Pet for sale. And I caught them, not once, not twice, 3 times they did it. Continued to do it. Imagine cat rescue people stealing somebody else's cats and then placing them for sale on Adopt-A-Pet. Yeah, her name was Maria. She lives in Barnegat, New Jersey. I won't tell you her last name. She's married to a retired copper. She was so jealous, so envious and jealous. She would steal my cats. Who does that? Do you have any idea how many cats are that need homes out there? But no, she would come and steal mine because she was so envious and jealous, spiteful. She was the one that I saw leaving my block when shoes in my closet were missing. Brand new shoes in a box. They were blue, like wedge shoes, tie up on the ankle, stolen. And she was leaving my block. She lives 40 minutes away. What was she doing on my block? And my gate was open. I closed my gate. I always close my gates. My gate was open, and the cat door on my shed was crushed. That's what immature little narcissist, spoiled brat, little weenie girls do to their competition. It's so immature, what a loser girl she is. And people out there support people like her. Donate to her. Think that she's wonderful. She's a fraud. And when I performed some research, she doesn't even have a 501c3 cat rescue. She's not even a 501c3. And she was fundraising online saying that she was. Well, isn't that against the law to fundraise saying that you're a nonprofit and not tell your supporters that you're a fraud, that you're lying, that you're stealing their money, stealing other people's animals? But yeah, so these are the kinds of people that we're dealing with. Envious and jealous. They have the ability to, quote unquote, nominate you into a program. And I guarantee she wasn't the only one. You know, I mentioned that during my divorce, I obviously hired a lawyer. And long story short, after 3 years, I still wasn't divorced yet. The guy kept postponing it, caught him in a lie. He kept telling me that the judge was postponing it. But I found out from the law clerk it wasn't the judge. He kept asking for postponements because he wasn't ready to divorce me yet. Because he wasn't a divorce lawyer. And then, of course, when I fired him, took him before the ethics committee, all hell broke loose. And he still never go to the ethics committee. That's like it's like having the police department investigate their own selves to find no wrongdoing. That's exactly what it is with the ethics committee. You go before the same lawyers, they all protect each other. It's very biased. They all cover each other's butts. It's not worth it. If you're ever going to do it, at least bring an attorney with you or just sue their ass. Skip the ethics committee. It's a waste of time. Waste of your time. And they just use everything against you. I ended up having to pay him because they didn't find anything wrong, that it took 3 years and I still wasn't divorced yet. He financially raped me. Yeah, and he threatened to ruin my credit if I didn't pay him. So yeah, I believe that he's another one of those creatures, very narcissistic, as if he doesn't have enough money. I would see him driving around in his fancy sports car. Made me sick. But anyway, I'm starting on a little rant here, and it's still raining. So yes, do GangStalkers poison? Well, I just want to add, okay? We use the term GangStalkers, but some of these are operatives. These are agents. Some of the people that are actually doing the poisoning are a little bit higher level, okay? These might not be your neighbors. They might not entrust your neighbors to do this sort of stuff. These are security consultants, private investigators. These are more highly trained individuals, okay? But yeah, sure, we can pile them all up into the term GangStalkers or operatives, paid informants, citizens on patrol. They're all lumped in the same little category there. They all have different functions. And the whole thing is to confuse you into not knowing who's doing what. But it doesn't matter. It's not our responsibility to solve the crime. When you report a crime and the police say, oh, well, do you know who did it? Duh. No, I don't know who did it. If I did, I would tell you. And even when I do tell you, you don't follow up on it, do you? No. But it's not my responsibility. It's not your responsibility to solve the crime. It's only our responsibility to report the crime and give as many details as possible. It's their responsibility to perform an investigation. That's what they're supposed to do. But anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Do GangStalkers poison? They sure do. They'll poison your pets. They poison your food. They poison your clothing. They poison your residence inside and outside. They want to make it appear as if you're not caring for your things. So they'll destroy your belongings. Because they want to label you as not being able to take care of yourself. But they're not telling anybody behind the scenes how many people have been set to destroy your life. Your clothing. Like the pants I'm wearing here. I've shown you these pants before. I washed them. I'm wearing them again. But yeah, this is what they did to my pants. right? And then over here too. They scrape. They like to scrape things. They like to scrape. So I will give you an update when I get a good photo of what my ear looks like. People have commented on, it looks really painful. Well, it was painful, and now it's got like scabs on it. But there are 3 slice marks behind my left ear. This was deliberate. This is an assault. And yes, somebody said that it looks like a ritual, a witchy poo, satanic ritual gone wrong. They did a really bad job. Yeah, they did a really bad job. But I'm not your ritual. Go get somebody else for your little sacrifices, like some of your own friends and family, because they're the ones that created you to be like this. Stop preying on innocent people. I'm going to sign off for now on that note. Please leave your comments down below. I look forward to hearing what you have to say. And thank you, everybody, for sending me emails and stuff. You know, I'm really busy here, so I don't always have time to respond to everybody. I certainly don't usually have time to speak on the phone. So some people have asked to speak on the phone. I usually leave that to my close friends and family. Otherwise, every time I have gotten on the phone with a new targeted person, it's not a 5 or 10 minute phone call. I mean, I'm sure you understand. It usually lasts more than a half an hour. I don't always have that time to allocate. So, but thank you so much, and I will talk to y'all soon.